I'm trying to make a crow friend, and there's all these birds flying overhead all the time. It's slow, sweeping circles, huge birds. And in some lights, they look like hawks. But in other lights, they totally look like crows. I get followed by 3 or 4 crows all throughout the day. They sit in trees and watch me and caw at me when I pass by. I haven't left them any snacks or anything because there are bears here. But I want to make a crow friend before winter comes, because they'll all be gone soon. There's a kid coming up the hill. He looks like he's tired of walking up the hill. I can't tell if he's walking towards the car that's right next to him, or if he's gonna have to walk past me, which means the recording might stop. I feel like La Revacholiere, watching everything from afar, eyes narrowed on something without truly interacting with it. A spectacle for all my ideas splayed out before me. I tried to lay on my back and look up at the sky. It's easier to sit cross-legged and look out at the mountains. But I tried to lay back. And I don't know when this fear developed, but I when there's too much open sky above me and I'm laying back and looking at it and I can't see anything else but sky, I get really frightened because I start to think I'm gonna fall into the sky. Gravity is gonna drop, and what then? I'll have the grass to hold on to. That won't save me. I'll just start falling. And today, just now, I started really feeling that more than ever. Fortunately, I'm very clever, and my brain went, okay, Chelsea, let's take that to its furthest conclusion. Say the Earth suddenly changes its axis and completely flips over. What then? You fall, but guess what else falls? Literally everything else. Everything solid, everything that seems like it's rooted or glued by brick and mortar to this ground will immediately fall. It's not strong enough. It's not strong enough. And what would you do? It would be such a long fall, and you know what it would end with is either you getting pummeled or suffocating by leaving Earth's atmosphere. So what would you do? And I immediately thought it would be like swimming on your back in the ocean. You kind of have to make yourself float and just relax. So I would probably just close my eyes and peacefully let the earth make me fall. What else could I possibly do but just trust in life somehow? Okay, now the birds are all circling me. There's 4 of them. They're flying through some petals. And one was right above me, and it had a red beak, I think, or was holding something red. And the underside of its wings were white, so it's definitely not a crow. How can there be this many hawks? I guess it's because we're in the mountain. This isn't really a poem, but it kind of is. There's something romantic about just talking. And not talking to anyone in particular. Not talking with anyone in mind. Just talking. I feel like that's what teaches you what kind of poet you are, is learning your own rhythm. That's all I want, is to be in my own rhythm. No, scratch that. What I really want is to be in life's rhythm. Which is why I'm constantly in situations where I must learn to surrender. I'd rather be the powerful, all-seeing eye, but I'm not. We sang a song in church choir last week called The Eyes and Hands of God. I kept wanting to say the eyes and hands of God, and at one point during one of the chorus refrains I did, because I thought it sounded better. The eyes and hands of God, not the eyes and hands of Christ. It's so hard. It's kind of clunky. That's the trouble with some choir songs, is that they all start to kind of sound the same, or they feel a little clunky. Like, why did you pick those words? You could have said that in a much more poetic, song-like way, but I guess it's not really about it being a song. It's about it being a prayer. It's like a mantra with a melody, that's it. So, you don't have to be so poetic, I suppose. But, you know, why not always be poetic? I always want to be poetic. I don't ever want to stop. And I don't care how simple or silly or weird it seems. If it means I'm friendless, I don't care. I have my family, which is enormous, which I'm sure has afforded me part of the reason why I don't really care about having friends. And I've always just wanted to go off and observe or go off and listen. And when I long for connection, I get it through my lover, my fiance, or this, by poetically humming with all this sacred air. You know, some people say God is in the bread and the wine, but I think God's in the wind. There's a reason we put heaven in the sky. When you look at it, it just makes you want to fall to your knees and breathe. If you're unhappy, you're probably just not looking up. So look up.